Hi, I'm Psyda with JRO Tools, and we're going to install a Kitbash pack into our asset library on Blender. Once you've downloaded a pack, and we're using this one right here, it's going to come up as a zip file. Inside of that zip file, if you pull that over, you're going to see that there is a blend file inside. I'm going to take this file and I'm going to bring that over to a folder that I've created in my documents. I just called this Blender Asset Libraries, and you can pin this folder. I can just drag it over here and pin it, just for future access if we want to install more packs without worrying about that. From here, we're going to create a new folder. I'm just going to name this JRO Tools, just for ease of access and organization. All right, guys, once we've created our JRO Tools folder, we're going to open that up and we're going to add in another folder. This one's going to be for our Kitbash pack. Since this one has our content inside of a folder, I'm just going to drag the entire folder in here. What we're looking for is that this folder right here is actually going to be our asset pack that we add to Blender in our asset library section. Going back out of that folder, we're going to add the other folders that I have here. I have a couple packs I'm going to add. We have volume 2. I'm going to drag that one in as well. And I'll also drag in volume 3 right over here. The goal is that they're all in their own folders with their own cat file next to them. The cat file being a catalog that keeps them a little bit more organized. The catalog generates little collections or folders for the assets in the pack to be sorted into. Why don't we go ahead and add our asset libraries now? I'm going to copy the directory of our folder here, and I'm going to go back to Blender. Okay, hopping back over to Blender, we're going to go over to Edit, and then Preferences. We're going to go down to File Paths, and then we're going to add in our asset packs, as you can see here. You're going to hit your plus button at the bottom right. You're going to navigate to the folder that we have on our clipboard, and it's going to be the higher folder above the asset packs we're going to add. We're going to add each one individually, like this, double-clicking on each folder to go inside and hitting Add Asset Library. It'll add them to the bottom of the list, but you can see I already have one here, so it just adds it as 002. So once you've done that for each and every folder, you can go ahead and save it at the bottom left, hamburger menu here. Just make sure to save your preferences because Blender tends to forget, and that would be a little bit problematic if we added up a library and it just disappeared on us. So you may have only one pack, you may have even more than I do, but the point is that we've added them all in this order just to keep them prepared for the future. Okay, so we're going to continue here. I'm going to drag out a panel on the left side of my Blender. I'm just going up to the top left corner until my cursor turns into a plus icon or a crosshair. And when that happens, it's ready to drag one out. I'm going to drag it to the right. It's going to split our screen to the right. By the way, you can collapse this by dragging back to the left. You'll see it gets dark and it would just make it go away. Okay, so I'm going to drag this out into an asset library now. Inside of this dropdown, I'm going to go to the right side and Asset Browser. Inside the dropdown, you'll see the Kitbash packs we've currently added, sorted into individual volumes. Inside of those volumes, you see that we have a little bit more space here. So let's see. It's been currently sorted into different categories for attachment, body, connection, MISC. And you can see each pack is individually sorted into their own categories as needed, which can be quite useful. And they're ready to be dragged in our scene and used in a Kitbash. All right, everything is ready to go. You are now set with an asset library to start building some creations. Happy Kitbashing, guys. Hey guys, just as a heads up, when you're starting to get used to the pack, it might feel a little bit unwieldy at first. I'm going to try to make that a bit easier. In the top center of your screen, you have a snapping options here. We're going to switch this over to Face Project. We're going to make sure to check it to Center of Faces, Align Rotation to Target. You might not have the Align Rotation to Target option visible, because if you don't have something selected, if I delete this object, you'll see that it's missing here. So just make sure to grab onto an object before you click it. I'm not sure why they hide that. It's just a weird quirk of Blender. Once that's all set up and ready to go, as I bring in an object to our scene and I hit G to grab onto it and I hold Control, it'll snap onto the surface of any object I'm currently hovering on, which is kind of cool. Just makes things a little bit easier to place since the origin points on our objects is in a pretty convenient spot. All right, after a little bit of tinkering around with the pack, I would say swapping back and forth between Face Project and Increment is a good choice, just because it'll be a little bit situational depending on what you're doing. But yeah, that's it guys. I'll see you guys around. I hope this was an informative video.